Good morning, everybody. Yesterday was a busy day here in my new location. I've been here before. And the results of all the people that were here, all the trash cans are full, and there are crews out this morning cleaning up everything. It might start getting noisy, so I'm hopefully going to get as much of this as I can out of the way. I'm early, but it's still, they're up early too. Okay. In order to be able to do what we need to be able to do to these servants of God, as we talked about in the last video, we have to have the most important thing that we could possibly have. Now, obviously, we got to be Christians, but even being Christians relies on this one important thing. Without it, we can't even properly be Christians. There are people that claim to be, but don't have this one feature, and probably are not Christians. Anybody can say, I am a Christian, and not be. Satan has lots of people that can do that. Okay, so the topic for the day is faith. Not only do we need it to function, we can't properly serve God without it. We can't really do much of anything without it. We have to know that when we go out, God is going to be with us, in us, and with us in everything that we do. Without it, we'd be afraid to go out. So, what is faith? Well, Hebrews 11:1 tells us what faith is from God's point of view. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. We hope God is going to bless us with some kind of a miracle in something that we're doing, so we have faith that He's going to come through with that. And the conviction of things not yet seen. We don't see God's preparation in the background. We just know that it's going to be there. One of the areas that I have fun with this with Jesus, is in finances. I know for a fact, because I've seen it happen day after day, I won't get the money that I need to do something until right up to the last minute. I have to have faith that He's going to come through with it. And I've seen it happen so many times, I have that faith. I may not get the results that I want until, 5 minutes before the money that I need to do something. If I'm going to take a trip, if I'm going to stay someplace, I won't see the money right away. That would be easy, and it would not require faith. So I laugh at God when I see what He's doing. Laugh with Him, hopefully, when I see what He's doing, because He always comes through. And there are many other cases. That's just the first one that comes to mind. We see God's movement in our life. Timing is everything with God. He set up the timeline. He knows when everything's going to happen. He's not worried. We shouldn't be either. Okay, Hebrews 11:6. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. You've got to trust Him. He's done nothing to show us that we shouldn't trust Him, and everything to show us that we should be trusting Him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who seek Him. What God does in our life is obvious. Just have faith that anything that we need, He will take care of. We don't need to worry about food and clothing and all that. We know those verses. He takes care of the birds and everything, and the flowers and all that stuff. He take care of us, which are more important. Okay? Let's take a look at Ephesians 2:18. For by grace you have been saved through faith. Faith played a key part in you being saved. And this is not from ourselves. It is a gift of God. Without faith, you couldn't even be saved. Yes, of course, it's a gift and it's from grace. But we have to accept it, which means we have to believe it to be true. Faith. It plays a key part in everything we do. Now, how do you strengthen your faith? Well, you strengthen your faith by watching to see what God's doing and noticing every time He moves in your life. It's all the time. In Romans, it says, faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ. You read the Bible, you will get more faith and more confidence in what God can do, because He tells us how He does things. He's consistent, yesterday, today, and forever. So when He does something in the Bible, we know He can do that in our life. And just what are you going to get when you do that? Well, Matthew 17:20, for truly, and whenever He says truly, He's saying, this is important, pay attention. For truly I tell you, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed. Have you seen a mustard seed? They're real tiny. They're bigger than grains of sand, but they can kind of, you put them in your hand, you pour them out like you would sand. They're very tiny. It's an explanation, graphic explanation of how much faith you need. If you have the faith of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. And nothing will be impossible for you. We know that God can do anything He wants to do. His greatest gift is life to us. He didn't give us life so that we would wallow around in self-doubt and worry. He took care of us before we were Christians to get us to the point where we would be. And our faith in Him has allowed us to accept Him. The sun's coming up and it's bright. We always wait for the sun to come up. And we should talk with the sun every day. The sun shines light on everything. They're coming by with the sand scrapers. You know, you see them use those flat things they drag around on the baseball diamond to flatten the dirt out. Well, they got one behind one of their vehicles. And they're picking up all the trash. I want to get a picture of where I'm at so you can see how calm and peaceful it is, but our crew is coming here right now, so I think I'm going to go ahead how we do it on time. It's only been 8 minutes. That's not very long, but that's all the message for faith. It doesn't take long. There are more examples. You may have your own. It's always important to have these type of verses as your memory verses. Print them out, put them on the refrigerator. Pick important verses and put them on your dashboard so you can see them while you're driving. Don't read while you're driving, but just look. All right, I'm going to do some walking for a little bit, and I'm going to take you with me, so let me close it. I'm going to do a little bit of walking here, not too much. The problem is our early risers don't do what they're supposed to do without power tools. And so it's going to get noisy. They're going to have leaf blowers and all the other stuff. I don't think the grass needs mowing yet, but they're definitely going to be out making noise. So, walking through the park. Continuing to enjoy. I was going to try to get some of that squirrel over there. He was eating a piece of melon, it looked like. The animals are part of the cleanup crew. People out here. Oh, that sun is bright, and I'm walking right into it. Somebody's out walking their dog. Earlier I saw somebody hiking a little bit with their walking stick. You don't have to come and camp like I do. You can just spend the day like everybody did yesterday. I think there were like 5 major events going on where people were here, gathered. They even had a pavilion where you can go buy food. And they had tacos, but they weren't set up when I left the camp yesterday. We went and had lunch at McDonald's as a kind of a reward, and I don't feel like cooking. Moving days are hard enough. You don't want to also have to cook. I had their McChicken sandwich. Well, they haven't got by here and picked up the trash yet. They will be later. Still, all the birds are out, the squirrels are out, picking through it all. Okay. God meant us to enjoy life. In order to properly enjoy life, you can't be afraid of it. The trash crew is leaving with a full load. I go back and repeat until it's clean. County parks tend to use jail inmates, I guess. Those on their best behavior. There are consequences to bad behavior on this earth, and that's one of them. But if it was a simple mistake, you can be forgiven fairly quickly. Of course, with Jesus, we're forgiven immediately. But we are subject to the laws of the land. Okay, I'm going to switch this around and we're going to see what the campsite looks like. Have a blessed day. Look at how calm the water is. And you can see our crews are out picking up trash. Every trash can here was full. The park was full. They've started grading over the sand to level that out. So I'm going to go for a little bit of walk. They have all these pavilions here, barbecues. This used to be a state park. It's now a county park, one of 4 that I like in the county. The only issue is I can only stay for 5 days. I think it's something they started during COVID, and they haven't changed it. Oh, nice little red bird there. See him? Found himself a French fry. All right, I'm going to go back to recording. Well, here is what we look like now. We managed to get 2 tents together there. Now the problem that I've got, and this is a tip for those of us that camp, you have to have the right equipment. I've been doing this a while, so I already have the correct tent stakes. Those large nail tent stakes that have the orange or green tops on them. That's what I use. My son's in the other tent, and he's got the stakes that came with it. And they go fine in soft dirt, but these are hard-packed driveways. The dirt's there, you can still drive a nail into it like mine, but he can't with his. We have water and electric over there. Squirrels on the tree. They hide on the backside of trees if they're worried. Antennas out. We have our restroom comfort station up there. There's another one to the left. This is a major weekend, but pretty much most of the people have gone. We have a few diehards at camp. These guys came in last night. And they're gone somewhere. They're in their truck. All right. Again, have a blessed day.